In honor of Women's Day, we opened up the conversation of feminism to CSUN students, gathering their perspective on the movement that's been advocating for gender equality for over 200 years. We were aware. Were you?
Feminism to me is equal rights, so like women are just as the same as men.
I think feminism to me is like a movement because like at this stage right now, women are given more opportunities to like do like whatever they want, when back then they didn't have the opportunity to even do that. So I think that this movement of feminism is like kind of incredible.
Feminism to me is more of a concept of just respecting women.
We are currently in the third wave of feminism, which is known to be highly controversial for the hostility towards men. What are your opinions on extreme feminists?
I mean, I feel like there's a lot of people trying to fight for like just like the equality part, but then I also feel like people are taking it to the extreme where like women are better than men. But that's going against kind of what feminism is in my point of view, which is just like everything is equal.
Well, when I use my empathy, I say I really don't blame them. Some of them take the history of women being oppressed to heart, and a lot of them have also experienced some pretty bad stuff, I'm not gonna lie. So when I think of them, I can't say that I blame them per se, but I will say that the ideology of extreme feminism itself is wrong if you're talking about men being dominated, like the tables being turned. But I will respect them. I do respect them as individuals.
Everything in moderation. Extremists will not get their point forward if they're super extreme. But then there's a certain point that you got to be extreme in order to get your point taken.
Sometimes it's needed, sometimes it's not. Like, they make it seem like every time we talk, we're ignoring them, or like every time they talk, we don't hear them. And it's like sometimes we hear you, and sometimes it's definitely needed, 100%. But sometimes it can get annoying.
Do you think there is a misunderstanding as to what feminism is?
Oh, most definitely. Most people always think that, for example, physical traits such as shaving armpits or growing out your hair or rights, yeah.
I think there is because like in a man's position, some might think that feminism is kind of like a demand for more female roles, female power, females want to dominate men, but that's not really true. Feminism just want to be they want to be equal with men.
I've talked to some men, and I tell them I'm a feminist, I'm really for this, and they're like, oh, you're a feminist? They kind of look at me in a weird way, because they think of all this extreme things. So they really do have a misunderstanding. We don't want to be better than you, we don't want to do all these things. We just want to be treated like you, we want the same treatment like you guys have.
Do you think women still face discrimination today?
Absolutely, yeah. There's so many stereotypes out there and gender and role models out there that people still don't understand. Again, they're not educated enough.
Yeah, I think they still do, because there are still women who discriminate against women, still think that they can't do a lot of things. But the world's changing, and I think women have the ability to change their minds.
Yes. Through work, just everyday life, and physically. It's a lot of sexual abuse and sexual harassment against women, and I think that we're not appreciating women as much as they should be. I don't think judging someone based off of what they wear is a lead way for you to treat them a certain way. I think everybody should be respected no matter what they look like or how they dress.